They have been mistaken severally that nimelewa. So I told her to tell them, mimi napenda pombe. Mimi na ulevi yangu siwachi. Ati juu natafuta job. Mimi nitaendelea kunywa vile kunywanga. Kama yeye amekaa akafikiria mtu anaweza kuja kwa interview akiwa amelewa, it is still okay. Then the drugs were making you stagger like nobody's business. So I go to the toilet to pee. Then when I'm coming back.
Hello everyone, my name is Presenter Ali and I want to let you guys know about the best mobile loans app called Chapa Mobile Loan App, which can give you up to 80,000 Kenya shillings in 2 minutes straight to your MPESA. They have no collateral, no CRB checks, and they are the best in personal loans, emergency loans, and business loans. You can actually download a Chapa Loan App today on the Google Play Store.
Inakuwaje tongo nguvu, mimi naitwa Presenter Ali wa Entertainment PA. The A is for amazing. Siku zote natia bidii kuhakikisha kwamba nakuletea stories tofauti, and of course today we are with Isaac Kasyoka Mulwa, and of course he has a very unique story ambayo amekuja kushare na sisi. Wacha tu ajiintroduce alafu tujuze amekuja kutuambia nini.
Well, mimi naitwa Isaac Kasyoka Mulwa. Niko na condition fulani inaitwa multiple sclerosis. The condition is very rare in Africa, and in Kenya actually there are just a number of people, but it is not rare per se. It's only that many people have not been diagnosed with the same condition. So we are creating awareness in Africa and let's say in the world at large about multiple sclerosis. Our theme color is orange, as you can see. I'm dressed in orange, which means awareness. And Presenter Ali, before I forget, thank you very much for this platform. I highly appreciate. Multiple sclerosis is a quote-unquote funny condition because it is a situation whereby the healthy cells of the nervous system are eaten down. That they are cracked down, they are eaten, they are destroyed, so that the person ends up looking sickly. Apparently, when you look at me when I'm seated, you can't tell whether I am ailing from any condition or whether I am having any sickness. But once you listen keenly to me, you realize one thing which is outstanding, that my speech is in a way slurred. And also it becomes worse when I start walking. I start staggering as soon as I stand up. This is as a result of demyelination. Also, that's a lot of things which I've said. But also, the last thing, my eyes, when you look closely to my eyes, you will realize that macho moja ni ndogo, macho ya left ni ndogo kuliko ya right. So now, in a way, it becomes, it reduces the sight of the left eye. Okay. Inakuwa quite lower. But tuna manage nayo. And then finally, multiple sclerosis is a condition whereby inasemekananga sisi ndio wale walevi ambao walewangi. Because you'll find myself staggering, you'll find myself with red eyes. I don't know whether the red eyes are seen in the camera. You'll find myself speaking in slurred speech. You'll find my lips discolored. In short, it is mlevi mwenye alawangi.
Iko na signs and symptoms za ulevi.
Iko na signs, actually, all the signs. Me, personally, I don't know whether the signs chose me or I chose them, but the signs which fell to me ni za ulevi zote, because actually I've been mistaken severally that nimelewa. But I can tell you today, mimi nachukia pombe. Off camera, I told you, if you came to me when you are drunk, I could not have a conversation with you. I hate alcohol, and then I usually find it very irritating to sit next to a person who has taken alcohol, because the smell disgusts me. But zote tisa, Mungu anatuweka uhai. At least najua sijalewa. I know myself. I know I don't take alcohol. I know I'm never sober. I know I talk with clarity of mind. But as I told you guys, you can't know that I'm ailing from any condition just by seeing me seated. Just by seeing me seated, you can't know. But once I stand up, you know,
Yes.
by default this guy is not very okay.
Yeah. Umekuwa na situations kadhaa ambazo some of them umenitajia of course off camera kwamba zimekuhapenia watu wakakudismiss wakifikiria we ni mlevi.
Well, so many times. I think I was telling you, Ali, even when I was coming through the gate where we are right now, the soldier assumed that mlevi amekuja. What is this? What does this mlevi want? There have been so many instances. Kwanza nakumbuka one very key one ni siku nilikuwa napanda matatu huko side ya Kinoo Nairobi. I went to get a matatu and then nikienda kupanda after kuingia tu ndani hivi kidogo nilishtukia nimevurutanishwa na nje. Kuvurutanishwa na nje nikaambiwa we mlevi shuka, we hata ujui kama uko na fare, we shuka, we unaenda wapi, si ubaki hapa, we enda ukalewe tena, enda ukaendelea kukunywa. So now you find the situation is very tricky. Another one which I vividly remember ni siku nilikuwa as in due to the weakness of legs mivuka laini ya matatu. Before we started wearing these tags, mivuka laini, nilikuwa navuka laini ya matatu. So siku moja nimeenda kuvuka hivi. Then nikaenda kwa mbele. Then when nikiongoja kupanda matatu, huyo jamaa the one was manning the line akaniuliza kwenye umetoka tulikuwa na wewe. So that means I am from somewhere. I was taking alcohol somewhere. But ideally, Ali, you can be my good witness. Silewangi, sijaelewa, sijalewa, hata sifikiri kulewa, nachukia pombe in short. Actually, by the way, before I forget, this multiple sclerosis, there is one sense which it amplified. I stopped working well, but the sense of hearing was very much amplified in such a way when I'm walking on the road and then a car comes behind me 100 meters, nitajua kuna gari. Sijaijua how, but there before sikuwa najua, but nowadays gari kitokea huko nyuma mbali, nitajua kuna gari imetokea huko nyuma. So nitaanza kujipanga maybe because natoka kwa barabara kidogo pole pole. But I'll know there is something which is coming.
Na kwenye issue ya kazi pengine, how you able to work ukiwa na hiyo condition? Ushaikuwa mistaken pia?
Issue ya kazi. Personally, I have an MBA in strategic management. I also definitely have my undergraduate, that is my degree. Niko nayo ya finance. But mimi niliacha kuapply kazi. The reason is why niliacha kuapply kazi ni because kuna interview moja nilienda. Then nika interview vizuri, I performed so well according to an informer inside. I performed so well, but in the interview towards the end, waliniambia kazi tuko nayo, lakini hatuajiri walevi. And I was like, if the employer already has such a perspective, even if I start defending myself, oh, I'm not drunk, oh, I don't take alcohol, it will be pointless. So I just let them think whatever they thought, na nikawacha. So in terms of kazi, I've been affected so many times to be very drunk. So I stopped applying for jobs, and now I'm just using my contact people, maybe to see if I can get a job. But if you are requiring an accountant, I am here for you. If you require someone to do administration, I am here for you. If you require someone to head operations, I am still here for you. The only thing which I can't do is manual work. I can't. Manual work, carrying something from one place to another, that one can tell you for free, don't count me in. Hiyo ni hesabu nje, hiyo sitafanya.
Okay. Tuzungumzie tu kidogo kuhusu the diagnosis of the disease. Of course it's a rare condition. Sio watu wengi ambao wako nayo, sio watu wengi wanaijua. How was it for you mpaka kuja kuwa diagnosed, na what are the signs and symptoms ambazo ulikuwa nazo mpaka zikakupelekea wewe uone kwamba kweli inafaa kwenda hospitali?
Well, Ali, let me take you back kidogo. Back in 2000 I was in class 1. I remember, and then I was in the countryside. But if I never mentioned, I come from the heart of Kibwezi East constituency in Makueni County, from a place called Kambo. So now, where one day I was in the heart of Makueni, I was at home, I was relaxing, like just like any other child. I was playing. Play was very nice for me. So I started developing swollen eyes. My eyes were swelling. Then I was taken to hospital. After being taken to hospital, I was taken to an hospital in Kibwezi. I went to an hospital in Kibwezi. Then after getting to the hospital, they said, let us put, when you go to an optician, there's a way they measure you. As in, kuna vile wanapimanga watu macho. Me, I don't know the English one for that one. So, kuna vile wanapimanga watu macho. Unawekwa vitu kwa kitu inakaa miwani, and then inawekwa magnets. I think the magnets are for strengthening the sight, or their lenses, sijui. But apparently, even without the magnets, I was able to read everything. I read from the top, the biggest, to the bottom, the smallest. I was telling Ali, even right now when you are here, I can see the small words in that other tent down there. So my sight is very good. My sight is exemplary. But that time to 2000, when I was taken to hospital, I was taught to read the several things. I read them. The doctor said, huyu kijana wako mama anajifanya hako sawa. So now what do? We go back home. Actually, I was given some dawa which looks like toothpaste. Unaweka kwa macho ndani. Then unafunga macho for like 30 minutes. You don't wake up. Then nikatreat ikaisha. Iliisha, tukaenda home. Then it was assumed, because I was very bright at school, it was assumed ni uchawi. It was assumed that mtoto amerogwa, mtoto wa Mulwa amerogwa. Then the next thing which happened ni class 5, the same problem came. Still eyes, it came, ikaniumiza, and then I was taken to hospital. Repeat. I was able to read everything. So after reading everything, unaambiwa una ugonjwa, unapatiwa just the basic antibiotic to treat your eyes. That's what I was given. So I continued treating my eyes. Of course, when you're given a drug and it is relating to what you are suffering from, it will in a way heal you. So the problem seeded. Then in 2007 was when I got my first neurological illness, or rather sign. I suffered from a condition which the doctors concluded that it was Bell's palsy. That time I had moved because hapo nyuma nimekwambia nilikuwa naambiwa ni uchawi. So wewe kama mzazi, baba yangu na mama yangu walituhamisha mimi na ndugu yangu mdogo, wakatupeleka Nakuru kwa brother yangu. Ndio tukae huko mbali na wachawi. So kwenda huko mbali na wachawi, suffer the first neurological condition, that is Bell's palsy, whereby the left side of my cheeks was weak and the right was strong. So the right was pulling the left. So mdomo inakaa kama imeenda side moja. I can't do it because I didn't like the situation anyway. And then we used to fear our brother so much, such that as a normal teenager, you'll fear your adults. So now I never told him. I kept mum until he realized that the way I used to laugh in class, because he was still our teacher, the way I used to laugh in class, the way I used to crack jokes in class, nowadays Kasyoka is withdrawn. As in, amejinyamazia. And remember, I'm an extrovert. So you can imagine, when a child, we usually told when children are fighting in a room, the parents are not worried. But when children keep quiet in a room, the parents will run and say, nini inafanyika kwa hiyo nyumba? Because it's not normal. So now here is Kasyoka. Isaac is now silent, is kind of withdrawn. I used to play football. I no longer play football. I was taken to hospital. I was taken to Aga Khan. That's where they said I have Bell's palsy. After them saying I have Bell's palsy, I was given some drugs which were very strong. After being given the drugs, I remember the drugs used to make me, in a way, stagger, or rather, they used to make me weak in a way. But that being said, I was treated. I was taken. I went back to Nakuru. Then toward, I don't know, 209. Yeah, 209. The same condition, Bell's palsy, I think. Then I went back to Aga Khan. I was treated. I went back home. I went back to school, Machakos Boys. But they shout out to Machakos Boys fraternity. Then I remember one evening when we were having our preps. Then I take these drugs just after supper. Then the drugs were making you stagger like nobody's business. So I go to the toilet to pee. Then when I'm coming back, nakutana na mwalimu. Mwalimu anaona kijana ndio huyu anaingia kwa darasa akiwa anafanya nini? Akiwa na stagger. And then he's like, mlevi ndio huyu ameingia. So ile coffee niliekelewa. Mpaka wa leo, I don't think I'll ever forget. Niliekelewa coffee, nikaanguka na huko. Then nikashtukia nimeshikaniwa, nikapelekwa staff room. Nikakaa staff room for like let's say an hour. But wakarealize, kijana tunasema amelewa. Ni kulewuka. Zeni hiyo levi yake ipunguki. Yani
Azishuki.
Yani ndio hiyo. Azishuki. Yani azishuki. Huyu kijana amelewa lakini azishuki. Then nini ali?
That is funny.
So ideally huyu kijana amelewa lakini azishuki. And then the funny thing ni huyu kijana amelewa lakini anuki pombe.
Okay, yeah, true.
You get? So now I think the teachers walijiuliza maswali yao. Then they released me. I remember I left the staff room straight to the dorm. Of course, nikistaga too. Staggering was already there. So I left the staff room. I went straight to the dorm because we used to sleep at 9:30. It was already 9:30. So you can count between the time I was caught and now it's 9:30. The best thing we can do now ni kwenda kulala. So I went to sleep. After sleeping, asubuhi nikamka nikuwa sawa. But I usually say that is the day I died and resurrected. Because there are some, let's say, between 10 to 15 minutes of my life which I really can't account for. Sikuwa najisikia. Yani, nilikuwa nimekufa. That's what I usually say. Because I tried calling my bedmate, Victor, shoutout. I tried calling my bedmate. Hakusikia nikiitana. Sauti ikata kutoka. But anyway, I finally did my KCSE and went to the university. I passed with colors. I don't know whether they were flying, but I passed with colors. I got a good grade, which secured me a government-sponsored spot in the university. Then I went there. I did my university. I remember there is one day I woke up when all the joints were paining. I went to the hospital and then off camera earlier I told you I've been faced with a lot of misdiagnosis. At the hospital I was told, my friend, you are suffering from malaria. So I was given drugs for what? Malaria. So I started treating malaria again. So now in the university nikusukuma tu. When mgonjwa, staggering has not started very much. Actually hata iko. Because that time I was staggering because nimekunywa hizi dawa. Then at this time niko university, na there's nothing much I can do. Nimeenda hospitali, nimeambiwa uko na malaria. Then I was very much lucky. Earlier I told you I am a lucky person naturally. I don't know why, but I think Mungu ananipenda tu kiplani. I got my very first job. Niko first year. So niko job. So niko na kabet sita kangu polite. Na enjoy maisha. Na sina apology for that. Maisha ilikuwa inanibamba tu. So I am taken to hospital or I go to hospital. Then wanapata hakuna kitu. Ni malaria. Na and me deep down I know sio malaria niko nayo. Then fast forward again 2016 mahali hapo 2019 mahali hapo. I'm feeling like I am weak, sina energy. I'm feeling ni kama niko karibu kuanguka, inaitwa faintitis. Ile ya ukaribia kufaint. Hiyo.
Inaitwa hivyo?
Inaitwa fainting. Si kama inaitwa faintitis. So now na feel nikuwa weak plan. But I go to the hospital actually because in my lineage kuna diabetes.
Okay, yeah.
So that is the first thing which rang in my mind. But I remembered watu wa diabetes akikuwa na kidonda hapa haiponangi. Lakini zangu zikikuja huwa zinapona. So even before I went to the hospital I knew I don't have diabetes. I got to the hospital. Then I'm sent to, I don't know whether you know Lancet. I'm sent to Lancet for tests. I do the test. I remember one of the tests, the diabetes test is you don't take anything
in the morning
prior to the test.
Yeah.
So now of course kuli. Naenda testiwa. Then after kutestiwa, kila test, ideally all, they came out negative. All my vitamins were okay. Everything is okay. So now I'm like, so what am I suffering from? Have you ever, you also want to know because unasuffer lakini hujui unasuffer from nini. Then I go again to another hospital in along Wayaki way. They test me, they find everything, they do a full hemo, that is a full hemogram. They find everything iko sawa. Yani, in all the numbers, I am falling within the range. Wanaambia wacha tu test ukimwi tuone kama kuna ukimwi. Wanaweka hiyo pia, niko sawa. Kila kitu iko sawa. Then, huyo daktari, but they made me just hate him. Because he told me, ndugu yangu, quote unquote, ndugu yangu, uko na ugonjwa wa wazee. Nikamuuliza, hiyo inaitwa ugonjwa wa wazee ni gani? Akaniambia, wewe jua tu uko na ugonjwa wa wazee. Nikamwambia, I've come to the hospital for treatment. So tell me, what am I suffering from? Hii unaitwa ugonjwa wa wazee ni gani? Sijaisikia in the list of diseases hakuna ugonjwa inaitwa the disease for the elderly unless alimwesikia kama hiyo.
Nimesikia leo.
So now that's what he told me. Then again I give up. I stop treating. I stopped looking for treatment because now I've gone to the best hospital I know. Na wameshindwa kunitreat, wameniambia vitu zenye I don't add up. Then I get a job in Mombasa. I go to Mombasa. Little did I know, MS, that is multiple sclerosis. I call it MS because multiple sclerosis is a mouthful. So I go to Mombasa. I get a job there as a finance manager. Then when I get a job there, little did I know that MS is affected by extremes. Either extreme cold or extreme heat. And as you know, Mombasa is extreme heat. There's a lot of heat in Mombasa. So that's when signs started showing up. So I go to an hospital, a very big hospital, which I'll not mention the name by the way. I go to a very big hospital. Then the doctor in the hospital tells me, my friend, you have arthritis. No, before he even told me that I have arthritis, they did a CT scan. That is a scan for the brain, for the head. It was normal. They did ile ya mama inaitwa aje, ile ya kuangaliwa mtoto. Only that yangu sio mtoto. Yangu aliangalia vitu zingine zaidi sema. But not the stomach, others. Just to check if I have niko sawa. Wakaangalia. I remember the girl was touching me. Karibu ni mtusi. Because it was not normal. Yes. So now they finished. Kila kitu ilikuwa normal. Kila kitu ilikuwa normal. Wakaniachilia. Wakaniambia niko na arthritis. Then after being told niko na arthritis, I'm like, arthritis? Of all diseases, arthritis. Na nasikianga mtu akikuwa mgonjwa arthritis kidole, my friend, ngoja watakata mpaka magoti. Wanaanzanga kukata kidogo kidogo na kuja ikuliwa kidogo. So mimi already nishaanza kupicture, already yangu yuko magoti. So wataanza kukatia hapo. So soon and very soon najipata hata mguu yote iko. So I got worried. So I was given some drugs to go take. But upon taking the drugs in 1 week, nika realize asisaidi. Bila niliona asisaidi, siponi. Naona?
Drugs that arthritis.
Arthritis. Siponi. As in, you know, when you take drugs, unafaa kusikia kiodo. Yes. What do you say?
Improvement.
Unafaa kusikia ni kama na improve. Ni kama mwili yako inakuwa poa. Ni kama nikupatia dawa kichwa saa hii na ukunywe 1 hour later
kwa hapo
kichwa ilikuwa inauma vile ilikuwa inauma 1 hour ago. So unaona hiyo dawa ikusaidii. So maybe 1 week, after 1 week, I went back to the hospital. I said it's a big hospital. Maybe the hospital can reach me out because wako na majina yangu. Nikaambia daktari, it is very okay. I appreciate your treatment, lakini mimi sina arthritis. Mimi shida yangu iko kwa private parts. Mimi shida yangu iko kwa what is my CT, my head. No, sio my head, my legs. Mimi najua tu and I am 100% sure. Because you've checked everything. My problem is in my brain. Supposedly my problem is in my brain. Who is the doctor of brains? I want to see that one. Do you have one in this hospital? Apparently, the doctor of brains is called a neurologist. In Kenya, they are like 18. And I know all of them by now. Now I know all of them. I didn't know that time. So me, I told them, my problem iko kwa akili, iko wapi? Iko kwa mguu. So mimi mnitume tu kwa daktari wenu. I don't want to go outside. Nitumeni kwa daktari wenu wa akili. Then they told me, oh, see, I don't know whether you know how doctors, how people talk. Waliegesha baiskeli. Hatujui hiyo, hatuna huyo, hatuwezi fanya hivi. Yesu alikuja, Yesu alirudi, alikuwa anaenda wapi? But anyway, wakanipatia kitu inaitwa open referral letter to go look for a neurologist. I came to Nairobi. I resigned ile place nilikuwa nafanya. Nilikuwa nishaanza kuambiwa mimi ni mlevi na najijua mimi sio mlevi. But already nilikuwa nishaanza kuambiwa, wewe unakuja kazi uko umelewa, unalewanga sana. Take care of your drinking, vitu kama hizo. So I resigned. After resigning, because kitu ya kwanza huyu employer hajakuelewa. Me, I told you I have a problem. with someone, and when an employer has a negative perception about you, in my thinking, maybe it's not the truth. I don't know what the truth could be. When an employer has a negative perception about an employee, hata huyo employee amconvince aje, already ashakwama, ashapanda akili. So I came back to Nairobi. Coming back to Nairobi, first order of business ilikuwa interview. After I went for the interview, ilikuwa this one I can mention, Judicial Service Commission, GSA rep at SRC. That one I don't know what happened. I can't talk much about that. But that was the first business I did when I came back to Nairobi. Then the second one, I was doing an interview of a sales manager. That interview, nilikuwa nimeorganiziwa na beshte yangu. Lakini akauliza ule mtu mwenye alikuwa na interview. Akamwambia, sawa, tangu zaliwa umesikia? Remember, in an interview setting, you are supposed to put your best foot forward. You are supposed to actually to pretend and say you love traveling. And the farthest you've gone is Mombasa. You've not even gone to Nakuru. Yes. Yani kwa interview mtu anafaa wacha nsiite kujifanya, but ni kujifanya tu anyway. Juu watu wengi wenye tumeona kwa interview vile wanajipresentingi au kwangi hivyo in real sense. So unakuja hapo unasema I like socializing. And for heaven's sake, you are an introvert. How do you like socializing and you are an introvert? Vitu zingine hazimaking sense. So now, mi nikauliza beshte yangu, who on earth goes to an interview drunk? But since the employer has already said, let him take care of his drinking problem, I told my friend to tell them, kuambie, mimi ulevi ndio maisha yangu na napenda pombe sana. So I told her to tell them, mimi napenda pombe. Mimi na ulevi yangu siwachi. Ati juu natafuta job. Mimi nitaendelea kunywa, vile kunywanga. Kama yeye amekaa akafikiria mtu anaweza kuja kwa interview akiwa amelewa, it is still okay. It seems like yeye mwenyewe aliamka akaenda interview akiwa amefanya nini? Akiwa mlevi. So now that passed. Hiyo job actually hata sijui namba hiyo jamaa nilipeleka wapi. Because ilimpigia mara ya kwanza, mara ya pili nikaona ashike simu nikajua huyu ako na maneno. So eventually nika ignore. But eventually I got the word what transpired. Then the next thing ni 2021 nimetoka Mombasa. Nimeresign, nimekuja Nairobi kutafuta kazi, shamba la mawe. Natafuta tuone kama nitapata kazi. Then after that, you
still had now your open letter for the neurologist.
For to look for a neuro. Remember I told you they are 18 in Kenya and they are not on Google.
Yeah.
If you Google say a neurologist in Kenya, maybe they were put, lakini hiyo time nilikuwa na Google hawakuwa. So walikuwa kutafuta. So mimi I call my insurance guy aniambie nitatoa wapi neurologist ama neuro. Akanirefer to one, akaniambia enda I think iko mahali yenye GA iko. Sio kunaitangwa aje, sio reinsurance iko tao. Anyway, iko mahali GA iko. Enda hapo ask for Professor Kwasa. And I can tell you for free, that one I'll mention. I'll praise Kwasa even in heaven. Even if God asked me to give him one person to go to heaven, I'll mention Kwasa. Because Kwasa assisted me. Kwasa nikaenda kwake, akaniambia, now, go for a lower lumbar scan, MRI. Go for a lower lumbar MRI. Lower lumbar ni hapo mgongo chini. No, ni chini hata, sio katikati. Ni karibu chini, karibu mwisho. So now I went for the MRI. nikafanya, nikamrudishia, nilifanya Kikuyu. Hiyo haikuwa na maneno mingi. But now after kumpatia akaniambia sasa nataka kurudishia tena. Nikamuuliza wapi? Akaniambia kwa MRI. For those who don't know MRI ni kama ni kinyungu kingine.
Unaingia mwili yote.
Unaingianga mwili yote. Then MRI means magnetic resonance imaging. So I can tell you for free, magnetic. You feel the magnet in your body. Yani it is a very strong machine. Hiyo sio mchezo. You can only do 2 MRIs in a year.
Okay.
Sio kama x-ray unashinanga hapo. Umepigwa x-ray kila siku. So now akaniambia I will send you back to have a brain MRI. Remember the thing I told the Mombasa doctors? Where is my problem?
The head.
In the brain. So now Dr. Kwasa is now sending me to do an MRI brain.
Ona huyu anajua.
Nikaona huyu anajua mahali anaelekea. Na anajua ile kitu anatafuta. Kwasa did not tell me anything. I am also sure Kwasa does not communicate with the radiologist wa Kikuyu. When I go to PCA Kikuyu, nikafanya MRI ya brain. That machine is the worst. Siipendi but ilikuwa msemo kweli anyway. Then the images came out. Mimi ndakwambia tu ile akili yangu kwa hizo images ilikuwa inakaa Christmas lights. Yani ilikuwa na white mingi. Hizo whites in the medical jargon zinaitwa lesions. Zilikuwa mingi. So now after imetokea nikaambiwa no, hiyo report hapo chini inaandikangwa tuvitu alafu suspected multiple sclerosis. Mimi kama mtu ambaye ameenda shule nikapanda city shuttle and the first thing I did Google. I don't know whether mnajua daktari anaitwa Google. Dr. Google can make you die. Dr. Google, you usually Google, my nose is aching. And then it tells you, when your nose is aching is a sign of HIV AIDS. Now, between my nose aching and HIV AIDS, how do they relate? So now I Google what I started with. The report was written. There is a lot of demyelination in the body. I Googled what is demyelination first. Then after Googling what is demyelination, I found out that demyelination is like a wire which has been removed the coating. Now the initial wire is your nerve. The coating is called myelin sheath. The black thing or the red thing is called myelin sheath. So demyelination is the act of removing the covering of the wire. So my nerves are bare, technically. Then at the bottom there it was written suspected multiple sclerosis. My friend, I googled what multiple sclerosis is. Then the results which come out, multiple sclerosis leads to loss of hearing. Multiple sclerosis leads to loss of sight. Multiple sclerosis can lead to instability, that is a staggering gait. Multiple sclerosis can lead to so many things. I started freaking out. Then mimi na uoga yangu, I thought I was confident. I thought I was very brave. But mimi nililock simu, nikaweka kwa mfuko, nikakalia kiti ya city shuttle, nikafunga macho, nikaimagine sasa mimi Kasyoka nitaacha kusikia. Mimi Kasyoka naelekea kuacha kuona. Mimi Kasyoka naelekea kuacha kutembea. My friend, loss of hearing, hiyo ni deaf. Loss of talking, hiyo ni dumb. Sawa? loss of working ability, hiyo ni kiwete, sijui kizungu ni nini. So now you can imagine ndakuwa kiwete ambaye ni dumb, ambaye ni deaf na blind bado. So nikaji imagine tu sasa mimi na kifo, same WhatsApp group. So I got afraid. Yes. I took them back to Dr. Kwasa. I said, me, I'll praise Dr. Kwasa. Come rain, come sunshine. He's your advert, by the way. Yes. But I just like the way he handled me. Then kufika kwake, vile tu nilitoa karatasi hivi, niliona amefungua mdomo na macho, na ni mzee. You can imagine mzee amefungua macho na mdomo. How he looks like. Na ni daktari mwenye ameona kila kitu. So akaniambia, Isaac, you need to be in the hospital. And then I'm like, sasa kwani nitakufa kesho? Na mimi sijui. So now ananiambia you need to be in the hospital, na mimi saa hiyo sina kazi. Savings nisha deplete. Yani in short sina do. Sina mbele. Wazenze mimi maskini wa netongo hai. Yo. So now nikamwambia which hospital should akanambia you need to be in the hospital. Nikamwambia what do I need to be in the hospital to do? Akanambia you need to be in the hospital to be admitted. Sasa mimi nimekuja nikitembea. Actually nimekuja peke yangu. Sijaletwa na mtu. But I need to be in the hospital. Sasa mimi nafaa kuwa hospitali. So it took a biro. He wrote for me a list of hospitals. 1 up to 10. Mimi remember I said mimi ni maskini oyaye. Sina mbele wala nyuma. Yani sina do. Nikaangalia hizo hospitali 10 imeandika, mimi nikamwambia tu ukweli. Kusema kweli ya Mungu, hapa hakuna hospitali naweza afford. Hizo zenye imeandika, he wrote the big hospitals. Nikamwambia hapa hakuna hospitali naweza afford. Then akaniambia, or you can try Kenyatta National Hospital. By the way, Ali, this is my disclaimer. And it is not marketing the government or anything. Me, have not been paid to market anything. But people say Kenyatta Hospital kuna maltreatment. But trust to me, kama sio Kenyatta Hospital, hatungekuwa tumakana wa hapa. Maybe ningekuwa past tense. So I went to Kenyatta Hospital. I remember very well because the day I was admitted, the person who took me for admission iliasumiwa mimi ndio nampeleka because I look very energetic by the way. Even you ukiniangalia hivi, sikai mtu mwenye ako na ugonjwa yote. If I put this working aid mbali, you won't realize. But nikaadmitiwa. I was lucky. I was taken to a small room whereby we were just 3. Nilisusia, yani nilikataa kwenda private wing juu it was very expensive. Kumbuka nilikwambia sina do. Niko tu. Yani ushiona mtu mwenye ako tu. Hivyo ndo nilikuwa. So now I went to the public wing whereby niliadmitiwa kwa ward, in the public ward, but I was lucky enough sikuwekwa kwa mahali kila mtu wako. Niliekwa kando kidogo. It is what I understood later on. It is a ward for people with rare diseases. That is rare disease like yenye nilikuwa nayo. Yenye huo mzee mwenye aleta the following day alikuwa nayo. Na yenye jamaa mwingine mwenye alikuja. Tulikuwa watatu tu. And actually, being 3, the third one was discharged a day after I arrived. So we remained 2 people. After kuacha watu wawili, tukaendelea tuka. I was being infused with a drug called Solumedrol. Solumedrol, as I usually say, is like a resuscitation. Yani inafufua mtu wa MS. I say it plays with your mind. Ufikiri uko na nguvu sana kumbe una. So Solimedrol nikaekwa an infusion. For those who don't know, an infusion is whereby a drug is injected directly to your bloodstream using an IV. That is an intravenous infusion. So now I was infused for a week. They used to put every evening for 40 minutes. Wanakuja wananieka, tuonane kesho. Wananieka, tuonane kesho. Actually, I remember watu wote wenye walinitembelea kwa hospitali walikuwa nasema mimi sikai mgonjwa. Na ni ukweli sikai mgonjwa, hata ukiniangalia nakaa mgonjwa kweli. Nakaa ni kama tu githeri mngeka hapa ndatuanga tu. Nakaa kama mdu ya fulani. So in short, what I'm trying to say is most of the people who visited me at the hospital, up to and including my vicar Reverend Igogo, sikuwa nakaa mtu mgonjwa. Nilikuwa nakaa tu mtu mwenye ako normal. So sikuwa nakaa ni kama naenda mbinguni. Anyway, sikuenda. So now I was treated and then I was discharged let's say 1 week later. Again, thumbs up for NHIF. NHIF iliniokoa. NHIF paid close to 70% of my bill. And as I told you, MS is very expensive. As I told, to see a neuro, you need a good amount of money. To get to MRIs, you need a good amount of money too. To get to be admitted na weko hiyo steroid inaitwa Solium, where the others which are more expensive, but to get to be admitted inahitaji some good money. So MS is very, very, very expensive. So I was admitted, I was discharged, NHIF kanilipia. The only thing I had to do with NHIF, and this one is shout out to NHIF, Ruto, by the President Ruto, revamp SHIF to be the better version of NHIF, because in terms of rare diseases mili niokoa. Kama sio hiyo kingeniramba, but haki kuniramba your time. So I had to pay 4 times because I was unemployed. I had to pay 4 times in advance of NHIF. That is 4 months in advance of NHIF. Na wakakubali, ikasort bills zangu, most of them. Then I was discharged. I went home. That was 2022 kitu Feb March mahali hapo. Tumekuwa tukisurvive since that time up to date. Tukingana na NHIF, tukingana na multiple sclerosis. But keen to mention, the reason as to why I am the founder and chairman of MS Kenya, Multiple Sclerosis Kenya Foundation. My friend, the hustle I went through, it was very hard. It was very difficult. So I asked myself, should another individual go through the same? Because multiple sclerosis is rare. And I said no. Should another person undergo hardship? Now let's talk about financial hardship. We are here, I don't know whether Ali will allow me, but we have a pay bill which we can donate. We have been supporting patients to get diagnosis, to manage the condition and what have you. But due to that hardship or rather lack of money, that's why we are here. I asked myself, another patient will fail to go to hospital because hawana pesa. So now we formed the foundation, which we are allowed by the Constitution of Kenya to fundraise. We are allowed to be donated to. I know after this, President Ali will donate a good amount of money. That is something I'm assuming. But I assume that my assumption is true. So Ali will donate. So the goal is we support as many patients as possible. As I told you, for you to be treated with MS, to manage MS, 1 year alone requires around 1.24 million. So if it requires that amount of money, does it mean that it is a disease for the rich? And when you are not wealthy, when you get it, you die? Or what does it mean? So we are here to support these people. We are also looking up to any insurance firm which can do, because MS is not insured by the way, which can insure MS to come on board. We are already in talks with CIC and ICA Lion. Then we tried GA, ikashindikana, but we can still go back to them. So any insurance, maybe I've not mentioned you, which can support MS patients, you are welcome on board to come tusaidiane. Then hata kama foundation itawalipia premiums, tutawalipia. As I said, we depend on donations. We're also looking forward to renting a bed sitter in Nairobi, whereby when a patient is in Sekuru ni mahali Kalonzo Musyoka anatoka mheshimiwa, mahali anatoka huko msituni ama Western, unakuja Nairobi, unakaa kwa bed sitter polite, unapikiwa, unakula, unaamuka hapo, unaenda hospitali. So we are looking also for a bed sitter. So if you are able to donate that, it is still okay. We are also looking for a car for transporting these patients to hospital. Earlier I told you, the way you have seen me walking around, I am among the best MS patients. There are others who are worse. There are others who are already on wheelchair. Yani kuna wenye wako mbaya zaidi. Hivyo ndo nasema. So we are looking for a car for transporting these patients to hospital. And also for creating awareness. So Ali, labda uko na gari hapo ni KAA au tumiangi, uliamua kutupa, tupatie. Mafuta tutanunua. Hatutakwambia tubaye mafuta tutajipanga. So that is what we are asking. And then also there's a guy who I like, who is very good with charity, anaitwa Maina Kageni. We are also looking for a way to reach him. We have never got a way. Maina Kageni, let me speak to you on this platform. I know you are very philanthropic. I know you have resources. Tusaidie tuna moja, tupatie V8 moja. Ama hata noa. Whichever, yote tu, tutashukuru. Hata NZD ni gari. Bada tu ina transport mtu from point A to point B. That is what we are looking for. And then since we are creating awareness, as you know, awareness comes with resources. The shirt I'm wearing now, there were more than 20 shirts for me and for other people which were made. So awareness comes with resources. So we require the resources. A lot of resources. Hata ukituambia mimi ndashonea watu wa foundation mashati, it is still okay. The budgets we are wearing also cost us something. So hata ukituambia you will do this, it is still okay. So we are looking for resources. Our pay bill, am I allowed to give?
Yeah, sure. Our
pay bill is, we bank with NCBA. That is, the pay bill is 880-100. That is 880-100. Then the account number is 5 times. That is 11111. Then 0. 1111, then 0. 5 times 0. Very easy to remember. You'll get a message from NCBA. Definitely you'll get a message from MPESA. Then from NCBA telling you we have got, you have deposited to Multiple Sclerosis Foundation. So that's it. Nikusaidia.
Amazing story and very very unique story kwa watu ambao wamesikia multiple sclerosis for the first time. I'm sure that you guys really now understand what it is. Maybe pia kuna mtu, they are somewhere and they are watching this, maybe their daughter, their friend, their son or themselves wako na multiple sclerosis and they would be, they would want to be part of the journey with you. They would want to be part of this campaign. How would they reach you?
Well, if you'd like to reach us, our mobile phone number is 0725 49 11 01. You can reach us through calling, WhatsApp, message, whichever, so long as the message reaches to us. And also you can go to Facebook. We have a Facebook page called Multiple Sclerosis of Kenya Foundation. That is where we are. On YouTube, we are still Multiple Sclerosis Kenya Foundation. So tuko hivyo tu kila mahali because wanasemanga MS, that is multiple sclerosis, ni ugonjwa wa wazungu. I can tell you for free, it is no longer ugonjwa wa wazungu, imefika Afrika. So juu iko Afrika, tujue vile tunadili nayo. Back at home, when I go around, naonanga watu wenye wako na zile symptoms nilikuwa nazo nikianza. Actually, leave alone back at home. Even here in Nairobi, there's a guy we met somewhere juzi. Nilikuwa napiga story tu. Na nikamsikiza vile anaongea. Nikajiambia huyu anaongea kama mimi nikianza.
Ukianza ulikuwa unaongea kawaida tu lakini the slur was slight.
The slur was there but ilikuwa kidogo. Siku hizi ni mingi. I know siku hizi ni mingi. But the slur was there. Actually mimi nikajiambia huyu jamaa ndio vile nitamsaidia. Na mpaka leo naongoja kujua. Nilimpatia namba yangu, sikuchukua namba yake. But tutasaidiana tu. Nitampata tu eventually because I know where I can get him. Then the other way of reaching us, you can reach to me directly. I'm Isaac Mulwa. You can reach to me directly. Or Kasyoka Mulwa. You can reach to me directly. You can just text me. You can just Facebook text me. But with that number which I've given, wherever I am that manages, itakuwa sawa. I'll get back to you. Kazi yetu mimi, I'm here to assist. I'm here to help. Kama umelemewa na bili ya hospitali, tuongeleshe tu. Hata uhitaji kutuongelesha vizuri. Unahitaji tu kuproduce medical records, tujue yenyewe mtoto wako anaweza kuwa na MS. Tukusaidie.
Thank you so much for coming along and also shedding light on this topic because not many people, as you said, have actually are actually enlightened about it. Maybe for the health sector, kama CS or health, do you think there's something the government can do?
Well, what I think the government can do is stop treating MS or multiple sclerosis as a cancer, because even as we speak today, it is listed under cancers. So MS is not a cancer. There's no part of the body which is eating you. So we are not cancerous. So stop treating us as a cancer. And the other thing which I would urge the government, calm down. Let's work with the foundation. Let's popularize this thing. Let's make people aware. Let's encourage diagnosis. And by the way, I have to say thank you to NCPWD. At least they have registered, they have agreed to recognize MS patients as persons with disabilities. But earlier I forgot, I denied for 2 years that I have MS. Up to January 2024 is when I registered as a PWD. Hiyo miaka ingine mimi nilikuwa mnasema mimi niko sawa, sina ulemavu yoyote, najua kutembea vizuri. So msinizumbue, msinikule kichwa. But anyway, thank you too for the platform. nashukuru Mungu at least tumepatana na tumeongeongea.
Thank you very much. Nimekuwa nikipiga story na Isaac Kasyoka Mulwa, and of course ametujuza mambo mengi kuhusu multiple sclerosis. Pay bill ya kuweza kumsupport of course iko kwenye screen yako, namba yake ya simu pia iko kwenye screen, na their digital platforms is actually Multiple Sclerosis of Kenya Foundation on all digital platforms. Make sure you reach out to them in case you need to help them or in case you need to be assisted in any way. Behind the camera we have Franca, the director. Mimi naitwa presenter Ali, your entertainment PA. The Ace for amazing. I'll see you guys in the next video.